Hello, everybody, friends of WeQuote. Yes, we are live tonight, today, wherever you are. So, all welcome and thank you for joining me on this live webinar. And this is going to be about mastering the Work Hub, which is our new feature on WeQuote. And we're going to be running through this tonight and hopefully helping people understand what it's about. And if you've got any questions, Mr. Musgrave is sat to the right-hand side of me here. Suit you, sir. We'll be answering all of your questions tonight or today, wherever you are in the world. Also, big shout out to anyone in the US watching this video tonight. So, hello everyone in America. Lee will fix it. So, less waffle. Let's get straight into the mix. Let's get straight onto it. So, I'm going to run through this presentation first, and let's get on with the agenda. Okay, so this video that I'm doing today is actually going to be split up across two videos. Okay, so the first video, which is we're doing recording now live, this is going to be everything to do with accepted proposals and building tasks from those accepted proposals. The second video, which at the end of this video we will lead up to, which we'll record in about a week or two's time, will be everything to do with billable tasks, anything outside the scope of works or anything outside the accepted proposal. Okay, so I just want to be clear, this first video is everything to do with accepted quotes and building tasks from that, and then my second video will be everything to do with billable tasks which are outside the scope of works. So, agenda for tonight is the foundations of building a proper quote. So, you know, if you're doing shoddy quotes, you're going to have a shoddy project management. So I want to build on some foundations of good practices. Also going through creating these tasks from the accepted quotes, and also discussing dependencies and what they actually are, so everyone's clear and understands what those dependencies are. And then, really importantly, the task types themselves and why we came up with these different types of task types. Also, scheduling the work orders from the project, really important. And then how those work orders are then displayed on the engineer's app, the Snag app. Okay, it's not a American dating website, Snag. So, also really importantly, you know, we can plan and plan and plan, and we all plan, and until we get to site, and then the plan goes out of the window. So we try to be open and flexible with the way we build the Snag app and the work orders and stuff, so you can add things and change things, because as I know myself, running my own business for 20 years, as soon as you get to site, the plan goes out the window, the customers start changing the direction of the project as soon as you're getting out of the van. So the hierarchy of tasks, and this is where I want to start. So we're going to be going through the quote itself, you know, a good, solid foundation. Everything starts with a good proposal. Then we're going to move to that quote to be accepted, then the tasks, then the work orders, then scheduling the work, and then obviously marking off these tasks as completed. Pitfalls to avoid. Okay, so if you are using the Work Hub, you need to make sure you're doing decent proposals. Okay, so simple things like, you know, using products from a live link supplier or live link catalog, you know, and then also, you know, making sure they're not discontinued parts or parts that are out of date, because you've got to think about your project managers and your PMs or the purchasing team and the procurement team. They're going to be buying this equipment. They're using the quotation as God. They're building, everything's built from this. So not just the tasks, the ordering process, you know, so a good solid quotation, good foundations of a quote will then lead to a better project management experience. So I want to start with that first. And then we're just going to do a little quick run through of think of this as like the topology of how it sort of connects together. So, you know, if you're using WeQuote already, we have projects and the quotations sit inside a project, and then across our 5 task types that we have, you can then build tasks off either a project or a quotation. And if it's off a project, it will be a simple task or a service call out. But we won't be covering service call outs in this video because they're going to be part of the billable task. That'll be in the second video. And we will be going through itemized tasks, bulk tasks, and also subtasks. Really importantly, the subtask ones. But those 3 there that you're looking at, they are all built from an accepted proposal. Okay. And tasks then get put into work orders. So think of the work order as your ring binder folder for the project, and tasks can go into them, but they can also come out of the ring binder folder and go into another folder, i.e. another work order. But the work order is the wrapper of information where all the tasks get put inside. It's also where all your customer contacts, site contacts, Wi-Fi password codes, any kind of passwords and codes and drawings and links, they will be as inside the work order as well. So if you do put the wrong address on there and you schedule that engineer's work, it's going to go to the wrong job. Okay, so you need to make sure you're doing it properly. Then once that's been scheduled, it moves on to into the Snag app. So dependencies, these are a feature that we came up with, especially myself, where I wanted to capture the field or capture that information when a task was created. You know, good example, if the TV's been installed, you know, you took a picture of the bracket with the wiring and the receiver, the balance and HDBaseT balance at the back. You took a picture of that. You then took a picture of the TV working, maybe with Sky or DirecTV, whether they have in the US, or Netflix. You just want to make sure it's working. You want some kind of picture-based evidence that you can track against the job and even generate a report or a completion report by using the dependencies, and you can build up your own library. So it could be signatures, pictures, IP addresses, MAC addresses, whatever, really. You know, it's just about capturing that information at that point in time when the engineer is on site, so you're not chasing your tail trying to get that information. And then what it's doing, it's always going to structure it and collect that data in the way that you want it to be displayed by filtering it. So the first task is a simple task. So, you know, you might use this type of task, you know, just a fire from the hip off a project or even off an accepted quotation, things like initial site meetings, you know, dropping equipment off on site. You know, they're literally what it is. It's just a simple task, but you can still add dependencies to it, but you're only going to clock into it at a high level. So you know, so it's just going to clock into that one task. It may have some dependencies, and you can tick that off. So that's the simplest form, and you can also save simple tasks in the task library as well. The next type of task that we have is the second one is a bulk task. So you may use this for building a Lutron panel, building an AV rack, and you can also see on this slide here, you've got a rack drawing linking through to a actual a set of drawings or something like that, and they can have that on there. And then make sure my phone is on do not disturb. So yeah, and then that will display a list of items to the engineer, and then they can see what they need. And then, like I say, they just clock into it from a bulk position, and then we can mark as complete. So the next one is a subtask, and then this is a bit more granular. So you've got the best of it from a clocking in point of view, where I just want to clock into everything. So you could do room AV, IT, build this massive subtask, and then you can add dependencies to each individual product and items, and then the engineers can like clock into the whole task as a bulk, or they can then still capture field information for each individual device. So yes, like on a bulk task, you can see all the individual equipment, but the difference between a bulk task and this is within a subtask, you can have dependencies on each individual product line, but you can't on a bulk task. Okay. And then the last one is an itemized task. So when you're building and using the task builder, for example, it could be the touch panels, you might want each individual touch panel as a separate clocking inable task with its own separate dependencies as well. So that would probably be more used for TV installation or something that you really want to focus and gather how long it actually took to actually do that individual itemized task. Okay, right, so pitfalls to avoid. Okay, so we want to start off on the right foot. We want to make sure we've got a good, solid proposal to build off. So I'm just going to open up this quote, which is my webinar one, and some good practices that I've done here. So we've got a video distribution system, we've got an audio, cable and infrastructure. Let's drag that near the bottom. Control 4, Lutron, your managed AV rack, your network and Wi-Fi, and your TVs and your bracketry. And I've mixed up how I've done the labour with this. You'll see I've actually used labour on the tellies themselves. So I've got like second fixed installation, commissioning times. I've added these in. So this is just like a product, which is an actual, actually has no labour time to it. So in this example that I'm going to use, we're going to pretend that we're using a third party subcontractor that's employed by the client. So they're going to do all the first fix wiring. We're not getting our hands dirty. We're going to let them do all the dog's body work and do all the cable pulling. So it's a nice luxury job for us. But I also want to be able to display that within the proposal, or maybe say it's like the customer's going to supply. So I could actually say within this one, supplied by customer. So all of these items then could be supplied by the customer, and then they would know then within the proposal that look, this first fixed TV point is going to be by the subcontractor. Then I've got my cable infrastructure as well, so I'm going to supply them a load of cables. So I want to build all these tasks off this proposal. So having the quote structured in a way that makes sense, so I've actually got genuine items from a live in catalogue. I've put labour next to each item. You don't have to do that. You can still do it the old school way, where we could just do a product with labour inside it as well. So you see I've just like done first fix, technical installation, project management, workshop, site building. So let me just get rid of this one actually. Let's get rid of that project management one. Save that. Just going to put that one on there. Save that one. Yeah, okay. And then let's take this proposal and let's just move it to accepted. So let's say I'm going to put this into accepted. So send proposal, confirm. Update this, close. I'm going to manually put this into accepted. Okay. Good. So this quote's been accepted, and I'm going to go over to the task builder now. So that is going to be inside the project. So go to projects. Right. And also might want to give this project a color. So I go to edit the project, and then there we go. A nice Papia orange color there. We'll use that. Save. I like that color. So we've got this accepted quote. Now we want to build some task software. So we're going to use the task builder here. Right. So the first task I'm probably going to use for this is maybe a simple task for a site meeting. So I might go new task, service call. I could just say, simple task will be site meeting. You put that in, okay, and just hand over with the contractor. So, and drawings. Okay, so we've got site meeting, hand over the contractor and the drawings. I can actually put a dependency with this as well. So we can say, I require customer signature at the end of it. And I'm going to put this on the stage, just another design stage. There's no date with this yet, no system, that's fine, I'm going to click save. So that's how easy it is to just create a simple task, okay? Then the next type of task I'm going to build will be a bulk task, I think. So we can use a bulk task to create using maybe building the AV rack, okay? So let's go over to here. Let's go to here. Bring up the schedule. Where's that gone? That's weird. What's going on with that? Where's the task gone? Well, it doesn't matter. Right, so we're going to build a rack. So let's go to use this labor types at the top. So as you see here on the top, I can filter products that have had labor or specific types of labor types attached to the product. So, well, let's think about like the rack, for example. You can say, okay, so the rack is kind of split into like two phases. The first phase of building the rack is going to be off-site. So you're going to be making that in the workshop, at home, in the garage, wherever. It's usually not on site. Or the worst case scenario, you have to build it on site. But it's always a separate job where you have to put all the shelves in, wire it up, an initial setup the first time with the devices that are going to be placed there with serial numbers, updating the firmwares and stuff like that. So I can use this labor type to actually find all the items that have a particular type. So if I say workshop rack build off-site, I select that. Now that's selected here now under my labor type. And then I can select all these items. So matrix, Sonos, the Control 4 processor, the rack, shelves, put all these in, and obviously design and build AVIT rack as well. So you'll see where it says workshop rack build offsite. It's actually just only displaying to me to build the rack. So I've selected all of that equipment that's going to be inside the rack. I can then say create new task. And then with this one, I'm just going to give it a bulk task. So I'm going to say bulk task. Let's call it rack build. That's the workshop. And then you can put any hyperlinks to drawings and stuff like that on there as well. So if you need to put a drawing and a hyperlink on there, very easy to do. I can just go to drive. And let's just choose a type in rack. And then I can use this one. Let's just go share. Copy that link. And let's just do this rack drawings. Put that in. Paste that. Under the phase. Build stage, design stage. Put that in there. Boom. And there we go. So we've got all those items moved across into that and bulk task. Then I might want to do whilst we're on the rack, then say for the actual rack installation on site. So I unfilter this, and then I can say on-site rack installation cable termination, can select that, go across all systems. So then I can say, right, rack installation, cable termination, and then these are the items that are going to be inside the rack where I've got that are going to have additional labor to it, connecting up, i.e. like Sonos SAM, control 4 processor, connecting all your Cat6s into the back of your Bluestream HD base T matrix. So I'm going to select all those items, new task. Well, this time, I'm not going to use a bulk task on this one, I'm going to use a subtask. So I'm going to take that subtask, and I want to group this, my system. I don't want to group it by the area, because we know it's going to be with rack 1. But I can also, once it's installed, I can apply some dependencies, and I could actually say device serial number. And then the good thing with this is actually, I can actually say do multiple, say device serial number, same again, device serial number. I don't need it for that. And then let's give it a task name. Installation. Let's drop it into a phase, second fix. No major dependencies on the top level. We're just having some small dependencies over here. In fact, you know what? We'll add a dependency. We'll say once this task is completely done, I want a completion picture of the rack install. So that's fine. I'm going to save this. Boom. So that's that one in. So if you look now, the rack is done. I did it over 2 tasks, 1 bulk task, 1 subtask. So the next thing I want to do is probably the Lutron panel. So it's a similar process. Go to the Lutron section, and then I'm going to go to my head-end equipment, and I can also use the labor types again. So I'm going to clear that filter down. So here you'll see I've gone to my lighting control panel. I've got a phase adaptive dimmer module, a Lutron processor, and a power supplies in there as well. So I can say I want these items. So let me just filter by labor type. So I'm going to do workshop control panel building offsite. So I'm going to select that. So I want these items. Okay, and then we just double check. So we're going to use the main filter to make sure there's nothing else in there that we need. Okay, no, that's fine. Let me just double check that. Any other items that we may want. No, that's fine. I did have a panel in there, but I've missed it off. So, and then I'm going to go new task now. So I've got those 3 items selected. I can say new task, and this one, I'm just going to do a bulk task, and this will be LCP, lighting control panel 1, workshop build. Okay. And then there's any drawings you can attach it to, put it to a phase, and build that one. Any dependencies as well, completion picture, that's fine. I've built that one. Okay. So let's carry on building these tasks. So we'll build a Lutron panel installation task. So this time I'm going to use the workshop. So do the control panel. So we'll use the control panel programming, workshop control panel, workshop back building. Okay. And then we need to use that for the whole works. Right, okay, so let's get these keypads done. So I want to create a task for the subcontractor. So there'll be the Lutron Lutron point, first fix of the cable, and also maybe the back box to go with this keypad. So we can actually create a subtask for the subcontractor to then do all the first fix wire, or even like a checklist for yourself for the wires. So I'm going to filter this by put these on here. So let me just take this first fix wire, take all of them, okay, and I'm going to untake them. I'm going to add all of these as well. Okay, so I'm going to create a task for all of the first fixing of these devices. So I'm going to go new task, subtask. Let's just create Lutron first fix installation. And then I want to group this one by area. And you can got that button there as well, so you can use the same thing by system, by area. But really importantly for us is we want it to by the area. And we're actually going to say at least, we're going to give this a different name. So I'm going to say, let's give this a different name. So lease keypad, back box installation, and we're going to say update all lines similar. So lease keypad back box installation. So see there, update all lines similar. I want it all say the same text, bang. Okay. I also want a picture of when that back box is installed. So I want a completion picture, update all lines similar. You can adjust the duration time, so you can just say maybe an hour. That'll update all lines similar. And we can say first fix, we can put an hour in there for duration. In fact, we'll leave that one anyway as it is. In fact, we can also leave that one blank as well, because with this, you don't have to put a duration time there, because there's a bucket of hours against the quote anyway. And we're actually going to create this task as almost for ourselves to just tick it off, make sure that the contractor's put it in. Or you could invite the contractor to the Snag app and he only sees this one work order with first fix items inside it. So we're very flexible from that point of view, where you can just bring a subcontractor to the platform, just that one project with just that one work order that they can only see, and they can actually see all these items with the drawings attached to it, and they just might have it for a month. So it's up to you, so you can just switch them off at any point in time. We can put that to a phase, so this will be on the first fix, same, first fix again, we can update that. So it's really important you like work on that first item, and it just keeps, it recognizes that there's multiple of the same item, so you don't have to go through it. Same for that, so we'll say this is first fix, no duration hours, we might want a picture with it. I don't think so, we got that, but let me just add it anyway. We can put 2 completion photographs with the wires in, the back boxes in. Let's update all lines similar. Okay, so we've got a nice task now for all the first fix wiring for the Lutron keypads. Nice and easy. So I'm going to go just double check this, make sure I've got everything right. Yeah, dependencies. You might want a client signature at the end of it. So we'll say client signature. And you can put a bigger description in there. You could have a hyperlink to the drawings in there as well. Okay, so they're just going to see those plans. So in fact, let's just put like a little plan in there for an example. Let's see, we've got floor plans. Let's see, we've got anything just to hand. What we got? Yeah, we can use that one. Let's just go share. And with the link. Copy that. And let's put that in there as well. And paste that in. We can save that. Let's drop it to a phase. First fix. Okay, done. Right, so Lutron stuff, pretty much nearly done now. So we can then move on to the video distribution. And then we're going to say we want to add in all of these receivers and data points. So we can say, let's add the receivers, data points again. Well, this time I'm going to add all of the sort of TV points, all the data points into one big task together. So I'm going to select all of these, go to the audio points as well, select all of them, and I'm going to select all of my network points. Yeah, got those. And any TV points as well. Select all those. Okay, so I think we've got a lot there. Just double check. Yeah, all first fixing stuff. Yeah, let's add the control points in as well. This is all our first fixed data points. Yeah, okay, so we're looking good now. So we've got control, touch panels, Wi-Fi data points. We've got the TV points first fix as well. And then we've got our speaker points there. So let's build this one. So the new subtask. And then we're going to say itemize task, subtask, do it by area. There's all my data points. You can put pictures next to all of these as well. So this one, first fix, let's just go put that as 0. Put that as second 0. Update all 36 lines. Let's put a completion photograph to everything. Update everything, please. And this will be, let's say, rough in or first fix we got in the UK. So we can say first fix data and AV cables, audio video cables. Yeah, done. Dependency, customer signature, and we're going to chop that into first fix phase. And again, we're not going to have a start date, so I'm going to click then save on that one. Bam. Okay, so we've got those ones done. Yeah. Okay, I just got to get this quote built. So then next one, I'm going to put another one on there. So it's cables as well. So I could say this is going to be dropped off to site. So we need to make a task for that. So I go new tasks, select all of them, all cables in one, new task, bulk task, cable delivery to site. Okay, just put on that stage. You can also make up your own phases and stages, by the way. And I can just say that, boom, that one's in. So it's all cable infrastructure. Let's get the telly sorted. Let's select all of these. So I can say this is either second fix or commissioning. So I'm just going to add all these labels. So you could split this down into like multiple tasks of the same thing. So I could say second fixing would be a completely separate subtask. So I could split this TV into 2 separate tasks if I wanted to by using the labor type. But I'm not going to do that in this purposes. I'm just going to say get it all done in one go. So I'm going to select everything for here, all TV stuff, and I'm going to say new task, uses a subtask. Again, straight into the areas. And again, I can say pictures, put that on all of them. That's all I need. This will be TV installation. And usually this is near the end of the job. Okay, phase, second fix. Don't need a description on that. Say, boom, okay, so we're nearly done. We've already got cabling done, TV's done, networking, Wi-Fi, control and audio and video distribution. So I'm going to put all of these last remaining bits into one big task. Like I want to just say, there's all the remaining second fix equipment to install in that room. So I'm going to go to my video distribution. I'm going to select all of these. I'll choose that as well. Audio, I'm going to select all my speakers. So I'm just going to select everything in the audio. I'm going to select all of the bits for the control system, and then I'm going to select everything remaining for the network and Wi-Fi. So boom, just grab all those in. There's a few little things I should have actually added into the rack there, like the Control 4 processor and the Dream Machine, but I'll just add them into this now, just so we can get through this. New task. I'm going to do a subtask, and this will be room AV IT installation. Boom, there we go. This is under the second fix stage, or trim out, what you want to call it. I'm going to set this as an area, grouped by. Let's have a look at this task now. Okay, so I want to start adding things to this. So I definitely want to take a picture of the fire hoods installed. So let's add the dependency of that completion photograph. I just want to update that to all the other 6 items. I also might want to add in for the Control 4 remotes, IP, serial number, also completion picture with that, update 6 of items, done. Control 4 touch panels, again, I might want to have a completion picture and also the device serial numbers. And again, update all items similar. Same for the access points. Photograph, serial numbers, update all similar items. So you can see the speed and you can apply these dependencies to each individual line item if you want to or not. Okay, so we've created a nice list for the engineer where he's got all the equipment by room. Really simple. So let's just click save on that. And there we go. So now we've got all the items from the quote, 133 items that are now showing that they are part of a task to do something with. So let's move on to now these tasks and putting them into a work order. So you can go straight into a work order from the task builder itself. So these are, when they are pink, it means they are selected, okay? So let's say the first thing we want to do is site meetings to be scheduled, or I'm building the rack or stuff like that. You know, they will probably be the first sort of things you're going to be working towards. So let me just say, let's choose managed AV rack. So select that. It's selected, knows everything that's associated with it, and let's create the work order for building the rack first. So let's create a work order. Now this work order, this is going to be workshop build. So it will put the Lutron panel in here, and we'll also put the rack building inside this one work order. So it's like everything we're going to do that's going to be off site. So we'll say workshop build, off-site workshop build stuff. And then any notes and drawings can go in there, and then you can put your address in there or your company address in there either. So I can say it's going to be this address, quote address, or I can put the office address, put that in. Okay, and then we can then use these tasks so you can see, okay, the rack build of the workshop is already applied to because it says added to work order. But we also might want to look at the Lutron LCP panel workshop build. So I'm going to add that to it as well. So I'm just going to click add. Okay, done. So I've added that task. You can see it's got groups, it's still got systems associated, it has all the work order details, any notes, any site contacts, that's all going to be part of this. So let's schedule this first bit of work that needs doing. So click the schedule button, and then I'm actually going to start this work, going to do it on Friday, and I'm going to do it on Saturday. So I select the date, I can say start time, it will be 8 o'clock in the, well, let's actually do 7:30, nice early start. Okay, and there's just me assigned to this at the moment, so I can assign multiple people to this work order from here straight away, but I'm just going to choose me for now. And then you can see the actual task itself. There's 2 tasks associated with this work order. So I click save, done. Okay, I'm just going to click finish on there, and you'll see there is the work order there. I can actually take this now and I can drag it around. So I can say on Friday, I'm going to be building the rack at the workshop, but actually I'm going to work on Saturday as well. But I'm not going to do a full day on Saturday. So I can actually split my time. I can actually split this work order. So I can go click this button, split, and I can split my time, and I can say, right, Lee, I'm only working half day on a Friday because the football's on and I need to get to the pub. But there's a cold pint of beer waiting for me Saturday afternoon. Most engineers have that. So actually, Jenny wants to build the AV rack with me on Friday. So I'll select that work order again and I'll open it up and I can say, let's add Jenny to it. Click the button there, save, and that's it. So it's added in. Okay, so it's very, very easy. And it's also, if they are linked. So if I want to then say you're going to do this from today as well, you can just drag it over. So these work orders that you're seeing scheduled onto the schedule view, these like little movable tiles, this is what then pushes through to the engineer's phone. So they see this they see the order in which you organize the tasks or the work orders within each side each day. You know, so if I look at Natalie here and I schedule her some work, 2 different jobs. So here on Friday, for example, I could actually say, you go into 2 jobs, and then I could say, let's choose the webinar. Choose the webinar one. And then I can say, start time, she's doing this in the afternoon. Start at 12:30. Save. And I can reduce this down. And I can say this one, start time will be 7:30. Save. And it reorganizes it. So what we're saying, Natalie on Friday will be going to Parliament Square TV installation in the morning, but then in the afternoon she'll be going to our Work Hub demo, the webinar demo, and she'll be there in the afternoon going to help me build the rack. So this is a massive improvement of our schedule view from when we first launched a few months back. So we've made it drag and droppable. You can use that little scissor function, chop up the engineer's time, you know, very, very easily. You know, I just added in more work orders without having to go from the work order to like schedule it in, and that's how it used to be done. So we've made it a lot easier. So I could have 10 work orders in one day if I wanted to, and to prioritize them, all you do is you set the time against it. So just like a Google Calendar or Microsoft 360 calendar, which we are working towards integrating with, just not yet, we haven't got it, but we will have it very, very soon, won't we, Robert? Hello, yeah, okay, good. So you can see where I've got to go today. This is what the engineer is viewing. So they can either view it as either a calendar, and they can see what work they've got on so far today. So I can open that up. I can actually see them tasks. I can see those items inside there, what I need to do. I can see the dependencies in there. So they can view it as like a calendar view, or they can go back and just like look at it and say, here's your tasks for today. This is what you need to do. This is where you're going. So they can say clock into task. Yeah. So you're clocking into the tasks, and then you're clocking into the travel. So they clock into the travel, they can start travel, grabs their GPS coordinates, and then you then got that information stored then within the Work Hub. Once they get to site, they can just go to in the workshop, wrap build, and then they can just click start task. All right, so they can clock into the task in hand and they can see the items. All right, so you can see all the items there that you've got to build. There's all the bits. Now there's no dependencies against this, and we're not doing ticked off because we just did it as a bulk task. This was just a, but here's a bag of bits, get on with it. You can see the set of drawings with the task itself, and zoom in. There you go, there's the rack and build in here. Sponsored drawing by Design Flow. If you want all nice drawings, those guys do a good job of it as a service for you. And it was something like that. And then once the job is finished, they can just say end task. It tracks their time against it, and you'll see there's the time entry there. I could actually mark this off as complete, or maybe I've made a mistake with my time. I can edit it. I can go in here and say, obviously, the start time, start date. So I could say, you know, I made a mistake on the time, put longer hours in, and then you'll see then I did 9 hours 45 minutes on it, and I want to mark this task off as complete, or maybe there's an issue with it, so maybe a stock variation or something like that. So I could actually add a stock variation, write down we didn't use this shelf, we used something from the workshop, whatever it is, you could add that in there. And also you could add a note to it to say, Lee, no show, didn't turn up. You're not going to believe it. He didn't turn up, that lad. That was definitely not me when I was an apprentice. I was in work come rain or shine. So then I'm going to mark this task off as complete. So just go mark as complete. Yes. Actually, are you sure it's marked as complete? Yeah, let's get this marked off. And then done. So you can see that is now marked off as completed. Then I can clock into my next task, and it's the same. We've used bulk tasks, but this one's actually got dependencies on there. So we can add dependencies to say, okay, we want to mark this off, but I'm just going to skip this one, go to a different type of task. So I can say, we're not clocked into this now, so that's why it's like that lightish purple. But if we then go over to future works, maybe the AVIT one, and we look at maybe room AV installation, you'll see how this is completely laid out differently. So this is how a subtask will look to the engineers. So they will click and just say start task. They clock into all of this. And then what they're doing then is they're going into the locations. And if there is dependencies on there, they will need to take a picture to say it's done. So if I want to mark up to say that the fire hood's done, well, no, you can't add that in yet because I have to add the dependency to it, add a picture, take a photograph. There's a wave, Robert. There we go. Put that on. I could even put a label on him as well. Tap on there. Yes. Okay, done. And we can put this on here. Save that. Done. There he is. The genius himself. So now it will let me mark it off. Okay. So now it's saying I can take this off. I want to have this done. Oh, hang on. We can tick that off now. We're saying it's done. All right. So we've got the dependency there. We know it's done. Happy days. Okay. We're good. So all of this information will be pulling back into one place. Natalie's having a little meltdown here at the side of me. She thinks she's back at school. She's only got a bit of kennel cough for the past few days. So yeah, so the point of those dependencies is like you capturing that information when the guys are on site and bringing it back into WeQuote. You can also clock into other people's work orders. So if the engineers are on site and then there's a bit of a dilemma and they've got to run off to another site because they can't finish the task in hand of the job they're working on, they can actually clock into other engineers' work orders temporarily. Okay? Any questions, Andy, coming through? All good so far? A few fan comments. So are we sat in silence? I hope everyone's just sat there with not a dog. Just taking it in like this. Yeah. Come on, we need some questions to come in. Andy's just saying, I'm paying him to sit here. Overtime this. He's just saying not earning his keep. Fire him some questions. Anything, ask him what he's wearing. Or maybe what aftershave he's got. So yeah, you can clock into other people's work orders, and also as well, an engineer can be on site and manually create his own task. So this is more leaning towards the second video that we're going through, but I just want to show you a little bit of this now. So create a task. We're going to have to link it to a project, so yeah, we need to go somewhere. We've got to assign the data to something. You can link it to a quote, but that is optional. You can give it a task name. So let's say clients asked to whatever, move TV. And then we can say where we did. Other side. Oh, spelling system. Hang on. The other side, that'll do. Then we can assign engineers to that as well. So if I want somebody else to work with this, I can say, right, okay, we're going to add Jenny with me on this one. I can say the start date, I can put a duration in, an estimate. You need to put an estimated duration in, either minutes or hours. You can put it to a phase as well, so we just put second fix. Is there any dependencies? We're going to use the address, the site address. Let's put a dependency in there. We want a customer signature, and we also would like a completion picture, and we're going to create this task. So then what happens is, you'll see on my phone, I have a red outline with a manual flag next to it. All right. So I could actually add more tasks to this, or even better, I could actually add the materials from a live link product. So I click on the little button over there, top three buttons. I click the button add product, and then I could search then through all the live link suppliers. This is new tech. This is like really good what we've done. Okay. So from your phone or an engineer, you can now search across all your supplier catalogs to parts. So it's not a price comparison or anything like that. It doesn't show any one price. If the engineers use the part, they can quickly find it across all the suppliers that you buy off. So I could select all trade. You can use the filters. I just select them because they're near the top. So choose all trade, and then I could say blue stream matrix or something like that. And then I could say Ballon, or let's just say Hex. So Hex receiver, I've used one of those, I add it. And then I can add a number of them, or just one, confirm, and that is now added to my task. Okay, so you can see it there, I've added this to the task. But I'm going to end it there with this one, because that's going to be in video 2, going through the billable stuff. Also within the engineers app, they can view their hours for the whole week. So this is more to do with the wages side of things. They can just swipe down to look at previous weeks, see where they're at with the jobs. And it'll give them then the hours they've worked from Monday to Friday. They've also got the tracker. So this is everything they've done logged. This is every hours they've done for traveling, every bit of time they've done clocking into tasks. It's all in here. So if someone rings me up and says, Lee, where were you 2 weeks ago? I think, I cannot remember where I was 2 weeks ago, but I could look back in time, where was I on that Friday, could open it up, I can see the task I was working on, there's the stuff I did that day. Okay, so it's a nice way of going back in time and viewing what was logged. So it's a nice feature that. Same for travel time as well. So if there is any travel associated with any of these, it will then show up in there as well. Then moving on to projects. So if you're admin user, project manager user, you're going to see the total costs, you're going to see the total invoices, you're going to see total number of snags. So you're going to see a high level information of costs and quotes and invoices. You can switch that off for individual engineers and staff users, so they don't have to see any of that stuff, but they could just see the project and they could click into the project. Let's find one that I know. Work Hub demo, choose that, and then inside the project itself, you've got the all the notes that the engineers have done, all the pictures that the engineers have done, any traveling that they've done. It's all in one place, and you've got a nice search bar filter right across the top. So if you're looking for snags, there you go, search by snags. If you're looking for only things that with travel, all the travel clocking information, Skybox call out against that job. So it's a nice, simple, quick, easy way to search on the app of what's being done against the project. Okay. So that's a bit of a run through of the Engineers app. And obviously our original features, you can still add in all the normal stuff like snags and things like that, and that'll push off to the snag dashboard. And obviously dependencies will go through to the dependency dashboard, which I'm going to show you now, please. So all the pictures that's been taken on site, obviously I've got no pictures on site anymore, I don't work on the tools anymore, but we've got lots of pictures of the staff in the office and the trade shows. So you might see a few embarrassing pictures here, or even myself on cheeky little nights out with Andy. So the picture we took before, Robert, brain boost, is there. He's on there, it instantly goes through. And we can search these then by photographs, signatures, and then also by completed photos. So say diagnostic solution, so however these pictures are. So it could be completion pictures. You could then filter it by the actual project itself. So if you say Work Hub demo, wherever it is. And then you can also filter it by time as well. So nice, easy way of collecting information. So we can select these, select, hang on, select this, and this one, and this one. Maybe a bit of this one. We can click edit the selected. We can generate a report. So we can say confirm. What is this? It's going to be a completion report. How big do you want the images? Let's have them small, but then let's have the text really big. So let's have extra large text. Show the cover page, show the timestamps, show the task details, show the dependency name, generate report. And that will generate you a PDF then. You can send this to the client. So imagine you've got pictures of the TV working, pictures of the back of the bracket with all the cables braided up, everything up and running and working. So you could just filter it by engineer or completion type or the category of the dependency, send that off to the client with the invoice, job done. Let's remove any excuse for them not to pay us our money. So that's a nice feature we build, and we will add more to that over time. Another new feature that we've added in since we've done the Work Hub is now on your customers. If we say, let's go McDonald's, choose that one. Oh, we've not pushed that live yet. The customer dashboard. Oh, it's not live. Sorry, got ahead of myself. You can't have that one yet. That'll be next week. So I have actually built a brand new customer dashboard, which is not live yet, but it will be live probably tomorrow. Do you think, Robert? Tomorrow, maybe by tomorrow, or definitely over the weekend on our next big update. So yeah, I'll go through that one on the next video. Is there any questions that people want to answer? Well, I want to live with some last questions now.
Mike could ask, can he add a product from his own catalogue as well as supply catalogue?
Yes, you can. Yeah. So if you just go back to my phone, and I open up that manual work order, and then if I go into that task, and then I want to add a product, so I go add product again. When you search, so if, let's say for example, I don't search for a supplier catalog. So at the moment it's saying all catalogs, and I choose, I don't know, Hikvision. Hikvision, choose that. This, when it doesn't actually have my, where it doesn't have a supplier catalog next to it, it's actually coming from my own catalog. So like all these parts here aren't coming from a supplier catalog, they are coming from my own catalog. So any of your special products that you've added in, so if I just like, I know a product that I would have myself, let's just say, design, installation. So I've got a product here that I'll know I'll have that against it. So like these are all coming from my own catalog, that one. Let's see. Yeah, so look, see there, right, so I knew them because this is how I used to do my old quotes. So I used to say like, that was just a product. I used to save labor as a product. And then, you know, as long as you know the name of your own part inside your own catalog, it's very easy to search for, and it paginates as well. So, you know, so I just like add that part in. That's my own part. You can see it's an LCR integrated systems on it. And go back and then look at my products, and there you go. There's my SKU, my part in it there. So the answer to the question is yes, you can add your own parts to tasks. It's nice. It's a new feature this that we've actually added in. So we will keep working on it and making it better, and constant incremental improvement, I think. So, you know, we are listening to our customers, we're getting feedback. And one of the new things that we've been working on today as well is the sales order. So basically in our the second video that we're going to do, we're going to be going through how to, you know, how we basically build these, you know, these manual tasks, just off the cuff tasks. So, you know, let's say you're not even scheduling your work, you know, you're on site, you know, you've not scheduled it, you're not that organized, but then each day you just want to create a manual work order and just clock your time against it. Just add anything you've used. It's like an open checkbook that will then all push through into these billable tasks section on the projects, and then you can select lots of them or one of them and just push it straight through to a sales order. So it looks a little bit like the quote editor, but it's not. We removed a few features on it. It doesn't need to have like proposals and stuff and things. It's got the price adjustments, so you can do all the wangling when it comes through to the customer. You can add even more parts to it. You can mess around with the labor, you can manipulate it and do whatever you want with it. And you just click a button, straight to sales order, and it pushes it straight through to an invoice. So you don't have to go through the quote. You don't have to go through it's in progress. You don't have to go through, you know, it's been sent to a customer. You don't have to be signed off. It's just tracking everything open and flexible. That's what they want. They want open and flexible, Robert. That's what I've been told. That's what they want, it open. So can we do that? They just want to be able to do anything they want. Within reason. As Robert says, we can build anything, it's just time. And then, you know, you can then keep all that information against the project, and then easily transfer it as an invoice, you know, and then trying to make that simple way of tracking work that's outside the scope of the proposal, or it's a service call out is the prime example, or maybe it's one of your friends, long-term customer. You don't even need to do quotes with them anymore. A lot of my old customers I used to work for years ago, you work for someone for 10 years, they just trust you. They say, Lee, turn up, you just do your job, you work out on the tools you've used that day, and you just charge them for your time. You know, they're the great customers. I used to work for a lot of amazing people, a lot of good customers. And yeah, so you know, so that this feature we've added in recently is going to solve a lot of those problems with that easy, open, and flexible working that you want to do. So that is just literally what we call a manual work order, and you can just put all your bits into it. Is there any more questions? Anybody? No? We're all looking good. Okay. So I just want to thank everyone in this room here tonight who stayed late. Robert, Natalie, Andy. So without the team, you know, we wouldn't be able to make all this stuff happen. And big shout out to all the customers who have watched this today. So yeah, keep giving us your feedback. We're working really hard as a team to provide, you know, an amazing quotation platform, and now the job management platform. And we want to get to this utopia place where we want to try and be the ultimate software platform, and also really importantly providing value for money and an amazing service. And we really work hard to provide a great service to our customers. You know, pick up the phone, WhatsApp us, messages, live chat. We're always here to help you. As I know myself, I know what it's like to sit up and quote at night. And that said, we want to provide a great service to you and continue to do that, and to continue to betterment the platform, and yeah, just make it great, open, and more usable, more accessible to people, and just super laser focusing on us as the AV industry and not other industries. You know, just building features that we need, that I needed, that I wish I had WeQuote all them years ago. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Look out for me in the next video, and thanks for coming on